Hello, my name is Jason Lowry.
And I'm Mark Tony.
And this is the Parkland Podcast.
Boom!
It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. They got plenty to say. They got plenty of heart. On the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. Jason and Mark.
Oh, Mark, I have been snowed in for a straight week again, but it looks like everything's melting off. In fact, probably by the time most people are listening to this podcast, it's just going to be a muddy mess outside.
Yeah, it looks that way, and let's hope it's done for a while, but we shall see, because our ace, I'm not a meteorologist, but spokesman for the Parkland, Mike Reeves, says there is another cold snap that's going to be coming through.
Well, I'll take a cold snap, but I'm done with snow.
Done with snow. I think even most of our snow lovers are done with snow now.
I think so too. We got a good episode for you. This is episode 37 of the Parkland Podcast, and we're going to be visiting with St. Francis County Clerk Kevin Engler as early voting about to get underway. We'll also go over the deadline to register for the April municipal elections. That is approaching quickly, and we'll talk about what you'll see on the ballot. And then we're going to speak with the United Way of St. Francis County. Executive Director Suzanne Baker will join us. In fact, we probably should have invited her in for the first segment and kind of to carry the podcast, because she's pretty good on the air.
No, she's better to be second, because that way if she runs long, which she might.
Well, you don't think Engler's going to run long?
Well, that's true. Welcome to the 5-hour edition of the Parkland Podcast.
Yeah, going to be a long one for you. And of course, we have plenty of news, events, and so much more. And we want to thank our sponsors. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do this every week. And that's Parkland Pharmacy, Discover Farmington, Save a Lot of the Parkland, Heimberger Construction, and Booz & Bark Carpet.
And if you're a business out there looking to grow your business, please get in contact with us. We would love to talk to you about how we can help you.
We have a lot of ways to do that and a lot of cool promotions coming up. And one of those will be our election night coverage on April 8th. Mark, this was such a big success. People still talk about our coverage back in August.
Yes.
And this is going to be the same deal, and something that if you're a business owner, you might want to get involved in.
3 mayor's races throughout the county, school board elections, city council races, issues on the ballot. This is one that's going to matter to you directly.
Absolutely, and we'll be there at Election Central on election night, which is April the 8th. That's the second Tuesday of April. They never do it on the 1st, right? Is that the rule, I think?
I always thought it was the first Tuesday, but I don't know.
I think if the first Tuesday is the 1st, they push it back a week. I'm pretty sure. We'll check with the expert on elections whenever he joins us here in a little bit. But that's coming up, so make sure you tune in. Facebook Live that night. We'll have wire-to-wire election night coverage. We'll go over all the returns, and we'll be the first ones to let you know who will be the new mayor of Farmington, whether or not Stacey Easter will keep the Park Hills title, and whether or not Pete Pasternak will keep the Deloge title. We'll let you know right here on the Parkland Podcast. What'd you do this week?
Shoveled snow.
Yeah?
And that's about it.
This was a much easier shovel, I thought.
It was a drier snow, and it came up pretty easy, and I was so happy about that because my back couldn't take it.
Yeah, that first one when we had the layer of ice on the bottom and chipping down to that, this was much, much easier.
Yes.
I was a nice guy. I shoveled not only my sidewalk, but I got the neighbors on both sides.
Jason Lowry Citizen of the Year.
It was easy. That's the only reason I did it. I wanted to get out of the house, too.
Yeah.
It helped me out, too. We were snowed in. St. Joe's was out all 4 days, and that never happens. Usually 1, maybe 2 for a bad one, but yeah, all 4 days.
I felt bad for you Catholics, because I was over at the Lutheran church, and there were about 20 of us shoveling snow, and we had a guy on a tractor and another guy on a four-wheeler getting the snow out of the way. And I looked across the street, and there was one Catholic out there shoveling snow.
Probably poor Dylan.
It was an older guy. That's
was
all
it?
I
Okay.
know. And I'm
It might have been Dr. Boyd.
man, tough crowd.
Yeah, trying to get everything out. But yeah, a lot of the teachers were snowed out and they couldn't make it in. And that's why they decided to cancel school on Thursday and Friday. So my kids got a whole week off of school, and man, they need to get back.
Got to see your boss at the Farmington Chamber meeting.
Yes.
He spoke about the bond issue and whatnot. And then I went to part of the State of the County address yesterday. I was helping out the chamber a little bit with that, checking people in, and good crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I watched the event, and we're going to have a breakdown of it coming up in our newscast. We'll kind of talk about what each elected official said, and it was the mayors, it was Dr. Gilgore, and Harold Gallagher was the featured speaker. Anybody, did they let the school board speak? I didn't, if they did,
I didn't stay long enough to be honest.
Okay. No, that's okay. You did your duty, man.
Yes, I did what I was
You've
supposed
heard
to.
Harold Gallagher speak before. I think
I've heard them all speak before. Heard
every
them
one
all.
of them. Although Larry Forsythe was very entertaining with his, I guess, farewell State of the State addresses. He is not running for re-election.
He always is.
Yeah, he definitely keeps things light. Got any music trivia for me?
I got trivia for you.
Okay.
All right.
Trivia.
Ian Gillan played Jesus Christ Superstar in the rock opera Jesus Christ Superstar.
Okay.
He's also known as the lead singer of what band?
Deep Purple.
Very good.
My wife would be very disappointed in me if I got that wrong.
I was impressed with that.
She's a huge fan of that production.
All right, I got some more questions.
Okay.
This is just a regular trivia question.
All right.
This world-famous athlete says eating chicken McNuggets helped him win gold in the Olympics.
Would that be, who was the swimmer guy with the really big hands?
That's a good guess, but it's not.
That's
It's
the
not
swimmer
Michael
guy.
Phelps.
Michael Phelps, okay, yeah.
Usain Bolt.
Oh, Usain Bolt, I believe it.
Went over to Beijing, I think it was, and that was the only thing that they had to eat, so he ate them by the dozens. All right, and this classic rock song is really a song that was written when the artist was 19 years old after breaking up with a girlfriend who had just given him satin bed sheets.
Ooh, would that be Nights in White
That's very
Satin?
good.
Yes,
I thought that
like
might
Moody
be a
Blues.
giveaway.
Yes.
Justin Hayward, Nights in White Satin.
Context clues, kids.
Oh.
Can't look.
Weird Al Yankovic
Yes.
did a parody of the song Pretty Fly for a White Guy. What did he call it?
Oh, man, I don't remember that one. I remember the Pretty Fly for a White Guy. That was The Offspring, right?
Yes.
Weird Al was Pretty Fly for a Kite Guy?
No.
No?
Pretty Fly for a Rabbi.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Very good.
As only Weird could do, Weird Al could
Yeah, that's the last concert that I've attended was Weird Al Yankovic at the Fox with a symphony, and it was amazing.
do. Well, he's pretty interesting. He can rap really well.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the video. He can really rap.
Yeah, he's really, really good. What about a totally awesome radio story?
Well, like I said, the well's running pretty dry on these because, well, that's all it is.
We're episode 37.
I did go to a Missouri Tiger basketball game back in the late 90s with Tim Gray, Joe Fister, and a couple of other guys. Corey Tate was playing at Mizzou,
Okay.
and he got us tickets to see the game against Austin Peay. And Mizzou was ranked #1 in the nation at that time. And they had the Haley twins on their team as well.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
remember them.
Absolutely.
But we're sitting in the front row, right behind the Missouri Tiger bench. So we go to the game, then we go out to dinner with Corey afterwards, and we all get up in the morning and we're getting ready to go home. I said, hey, let's turn on ESPN. And they said, why? And I said, well, Mizzou's #1 in the nation. Odds are that, it's going to be highlighted on ESPN and we'll get to see ourselves maybe. Sure enough, #1 Mizzou in action against Austin Peay. Mizzou's dribbling the ball up the court and There we all are
Wow.
on ESPN National Television. First thing I said to Tim was, I'm glad I wasn't picking my nose or scratching my butt on that one.
Very
My
cool.
national TV debut, and there's Toady doing this.
Yeah.
So, like I said, our awesome radio stories are going way down here.
Yeah, I had a similar experience during Super Bowl week. Kevin Brooks and I were and it was a crowd shot. There was a few people, not just us, but we were in the front row. So it was
You and Bob Euchre.
Me and Bob Euchre. We had the front row. There was, I think, a live broadcast of NFL Live or one of their, little breakdown shows, and we stood there and we watched it. And I remember, I didn't have a cell phone at the time. I went back to the J98 Jeep and grabbed the old mounted cell phone, and I called my mom and I said, hey, turn it on ESPN. You might see me and Kevin in the crowd in this football show. And sure enough, I went back. We got back in my place, and they did like a big, kind of swooping crowd shot from a crane up top. And my mom saw me on TV.
There you go, Mom.
There we go. So two radio guys on ESPN, and hopefully for okay reasons.
Yes, we weren't arrested.
Yes. And that is your totally awesome radio story. Heimberger Construction, HeimbergerConstruction.com. They have been building beautiful buildings in our area since 1978, Mark Toady, and they have those Butler buildings.
The Butler buildings are the best metal building system on the market, and the only buildings that have a pre-punched roof system and standard 360-degree roof seam for their standing seam roof. Jennifer Heimberger, who runs Heimberger Construction, does a fabulous job, and she really cares about the area. She gets involved in a whole lot of things in the community. I know she's supporting a Little League baseball team. That's one of her current things, which is just really awesome. So Jennifer, she's been to a couple of Kansas City Chiefs football games, which makes me really jealous.
Yeah, and I feel really bad for her. I hope she's gotten over the loss.
She's still a little bitter, but aren't we all?
Exactly. Anyways, HeimbergerConstruction.com. Check out the beautiful work they've done, not only around the Parkland, but around the region. HeimbergerConstruction.com, 431-4387. Save a lot of the Parkland there in Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, Farmington. They have those butchers in every store. They have the produce, they have the meat, they have everything covered at your local Save-A-Lot store.
Their Facebook page says it all to me, offering quality without compromise. That's what you'll find at Save-A-Lot. I go to the Farmington store quite a bit. They've got a great selection, not just of meat, which is cut fresh daily, but they also have great produce and all kinds of canned goods, everything you want from your local grocery store, and it's like your own little personal grocery store and Save a Lot.
It sure is, and make sure you sign up for the customer rewards, find out about great things happening, and save money on groceries. We all need to, and you can do that at your local Save-A-Lot stores. Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington. Here's your news on the Parkland Podcast.
Missouri State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick's office says money is unaccounted for after auditing the Iron County Sheriff's Department. The audit focused on the tenure of former Sheriff Jeffrey Burkett, who was elected in 2020 and forced to resign in early 2024. The audit found almost $6,000 unaccounted for. Fitzpatrick's office gave a poor rating to the department, saying that Burkett failed to perform even the most basic accounting functions and lost seized property during his 3 years in office.
Community and civic leaders in the Parkland have a better understanding of the progress in the county and each of the cities during Friday's State of the County address. Mineral Area College President Dr. Joe Gilgore led the event, highlighting enrollment numbers and expanding programs, including a new ag program. From there, Deloge Mayor Pete Pasternak spoke about the new Aldi store, the coming roundabout to State Street and Deloge Drive, and sidewalk and drainage improvements. Bismarck Mayor Seth Radford talked about natural gas lines, improvements to the city's airport, and the IKO business coming to Bismarck. Bonne Terre City Administrator Sean Kay highlighted the major improvements to the Bonne Terre Plaza. With the new businesses, the city announced an 8% increase in sales tax. Outgoing Farmington Mayor Larry Forsythe spoke about new businesses coming to town, as well as the elimination of the TIF Fund program for downtown Farmington, as well as eliminating the TIF Fund program for Maple Valley. Improvements to the sports complex, the Farmington Civic Center, and Long Hall were also highlighted. Leadington Mayor Dustin McKinney highlighted improved staffing for the city's police department, as well as a new McDonald's coming to Leadington this year. Park Hills Mayor Stacey Easter focused on economic development, including Ameren and Capitol Railroad facilities, and also mentioned controversial recycling business ReWorld. Easter also announced new grant funding that will be used for sidewalk and road improvements. Finally, St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner Harold Gallagher took the floor. He said that St. Francis County sales tax are up over 6%. He also said he hoped that the Berry Road Bridge would be complete by the end of the calendar year. The county is looking at improvements to Iron Mountain Lake Bridge near the dam's spillway. The county's road district tax will be expiring soon, and he expects that to be on the ballot in the next couple of years. And Gallagher said that a new tax will be needed to maintain current road conditions.
Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe has issued an executive order banning the use of state funds for DEI and prevents agencies from considering diversity, equity, and inclusion in their hiring decisions. Kehoe said in a published statement that agencies must operate under a framework that ensures fairness, equal opportunity, and merit-based decision-making with a commitment to what he calls a constitutional colorblind approach.
The St. Francis County Health Department very busy this flu season. February numbers include close to 700 flu cases reported in St. Francis County. In January, 774 people were diagnosed with the flu and 170 cases of COVID were reported. The number of flu cases are up almost 200 compared to this time last year. However, COVID numbers are down by almost half.
And a big thank you to Brianna Griffin for her contributions to that story. And due to the ongoing litigation with the Doe Run Lead Company, the Bonne Terre mine will remain closed by Doe Run until the legal matter is resolved. According to the mine's Facebook page, reopening the operation is in the hands of the EPA.
And that's your latest news right here on the Parkland Podcast. Parkland Pharmacy, local pharmacy at its finest. They're in Deloge, Farmington, Fredericktown, Ironton, Piedmont, Greenville, and they are the personal pharmacy of both Mark Tody and I, but we have separate accounts.
Hello, Julie Berghaus. Hope you are doing fantastic today. I was just there on Friday, as a matter of fact, getting some prescriptions filled. And boy, if you're starting to feel the winter blahs and you're starting to get that cold and the flu that's been going around, they're the folks to see. They can help you out. They are a complete pharmacy. In addition to getting your prescriptions filled, they've got all the little extras that you need for cold and flu and things like that.
And customer service, you will not find better customer service anywhere in just about any other industry. They are that good. Parkland Pharmacy, Deloge, Farmington, Fredericktown, Ironton, Piedmont, and Greenville, proud sponsors of the podcast. I want to thank Booz & Bark Carpet, Flooring, and Granite for sponsoring the Parkland podcast. That is the #1 name in our region when it comes to flooring, comes to countertops, when it comes to trailer sales. The website is boozandbarkflooring.com, and Mark, they make it pretty easy even for a guy your age to navigate.
Even a guy like me. The beauty of what they do is you can go in and shop. If you're the kind of person that likes to look at what you're shopping for, you can go in and they'd love to talk to you. But you can also do everything through the comfort of your own home through the online process, which makes it real easy as well.
It sure does. But if you want to get in there, you want to see it, you want to feel it, you want to get a good idea of how it's going to look in your house. I mean, spring is coming. Oh, spring, please get here soon. Soon. And you're going to want that new flooring. You're going to want your house to look its best. It's a great investment. So why not talk to the name that's the best in the area? And that's Booz & Bark Carpet, located on Highway 67. Wave at us when you see us on the billboard. Here are your events. They're presented by Discover Farmington, more than you ever imagined. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.com allows you to find out more about entertainment, dining, outdoor activities, wineries, and more.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
Bum's Cafe has a free meal, weather permitting, every Wednesday at Memorial United Methodist Church in Farmington.
Grant applications continue to be accepted by the United Way of St. Francis County. You have until mid-March to get those applications in.
A couple of blood drives coming up on the 27th. The American Legion Hall in Farmington has one at 10 o'clock in the morning. And February 28th, Farmington High School starting at 7:30 in the morning.
February 28th is the date for an 80s trivia night hosted by the Deloge Chamber of Commerce. It'll start at 6:30 at the Lincoln Street Event Center.
Don't let the pigeon drive the bus, the musical. Get your tickets now at the Farmington Civic Center box office or by phone 756-0900. Tickets are $10 for adults, just $6 for kids.
Mouse races take place on March 8th at 6 o'clock at St. Joe Catholic School in Farmington.
On March 14th, there's a trivia night for the Farmington Education Foundation. That happens at 6:30 that evening in the Black Knight Fieldhouse.
The 38th annual Mike O'Brien and Carol Moore Jazz Festival is Saturday, March 15th at 7:30 at Mineral Area College featuring Steve Wiest. Tickets are $15.
The 4th annual Last Minor Riding Mountain Bike event is March 15th, starting at 9 a.m. at St. Joe State Park.
The St. Francis County Rotary Club annual mouse races March 15th, 6 o'clock at the Mac Tech building.
Farmington High School Theater Guild proudly presents The Addams Family the Musical, March 20th through the 23rd, 7 o'clock each night at Truman Auditorium.
I hear the director for that is pretty talented.
She's all right.
She's all right. March 28th, trivia night for the SEMO Family Violence Council, 7 o'clock, St. Paul Elementary School Gym in Farmington.
And this event's coming up on April 26th, but we want to let you know about it now. Elvis Meets the Beatles. It'll be by April 26th, 7 o'clock at the Centene Center. Tickets are $20 in advance and $30 at the door, so make sure you get those tickets early for what I think is going to be a really cool event.
I agree.
These are two very high-quality Elvis and Beatles impersonators, and they'll be at the Centene Center, again, coming up on April 26th. Those are your events, and they are presented by Discover Farmington. More than you ever imagined. Find out about local events. Even book a wedding or day trip at discoverfarmingtonmo.com. This is the time for birthdays on the Parkland podcast, and these are the birthdays beginning on Monday, February 24th.
A special happy birthday to Megan Maurer. She is the owner of BOGO Sandwiches in downtown Farmington behind the post office. Wonderful young lady. She's about to become a mama again for the third time. So Megan, congratulations on that.
That's when you're a real parent when you have 3 kids.
Well, there you go. There you go. I have no idea how many kids I have. They're all spread out. Anyway, that's another story for another time. Megan, best buffalo chicken soup in the world. Great Philly beef and cheese soup. Great paninis. I love BOGOs, and I love Megan. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to our good buddy, Alan Wells.
Yes.
Alan celebrates a birthday, the director of 911. He's so good at his job, he's the director of 911 for like 17 counties.
Right, and it has his name
Southeast
on the
Missouri.
building, too.
Yeah, he's
Alan Wells
a
Center.
lifelong guy who's given back through law enforcement. Seth Pegram, local attorney in Farmington. Happy birthday to you from your wife and your family. Margot Wagoner.
Margot.
She once sat out in the parking lot. I think she worked at the Centene Corporation at the time. And she sat there and waited just so I could say her birthday on the radio. And she wouldn't go to work until she heard it.
Yeah. Makes
Margot,
sense.
you're all right with me. Happy birthday to you from your husband and your kids. And my good buddy, Mike Harrison. He is the pastor at Parkland Chapel Church. Happy birthday to you from your wife, Lucinda, and all of your family. Mike used to be quite the runner. He used to run everywhere. Then he discovered fishing, and he no longer runs.
Yeah.
He just fishes. He just fishes. So happy birthday to you, Mike.
Happy birthday on Monday to Blake Nelson of Deloge. Happy birthday, Blake, from the wife and the kids. Former student of mine, Taylor Baker. Happy birthday, Taylor. Hope it's a great one for you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Jordan Vaught. Jordan is the boyfriend of my niece, Josie. And I think he's a keeper. He's been around for a couple years now. And we went to Indiana over the summer and met some extended family. And some of the other family were like, well, what's Josie's boyfriend's name? I never can remember it. And I go, just think, Michael Jordan was the greatest of all time.
Yes.
Jordan is the greatest of Josie's boyfriends of all time.
There you go.
So that's how we all remember it. Tim Miller at Bonne Terre celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday, Tim. Hope it's awesome. And Elena Pulliam celebrating a birthday on Monday. Happy birthday to you. How about Tuesday, February 25th?
Just one for me. I've got Ning Blackwell with
Yeah.
a birthday, married to Kevin Blackwell. Ning, I hope you are doing fantastic, and we wish you a very happy birthday.
I want to wish a happy birthday to a former co-worker of yours
Yeah.
and a former student of mine, Hunter Grebe. Hunter, a proud graduate of Bismarck High School. He was the salutatorian, which kind of blew my mind when he told me
kinda
that.
quiet.
Yeah. But Hunter, very, very cool, very creative, has some neat stuff on YouTube. Look him up, former student of mine. Happy birthday, Hunter. Derek Gibson, North County football, baseball legend, Southeast Missouri football and baseball
was
legend.
he a pitcher?
He was outfielder for the St. Louis Cardinals, made it all the way up to Double-A
Right,
Springfield.
I knew that.
And Derek, just a good guy, loves the podcast, and has fantastic teeth. Happy birthday, Derek. Yeah, well, you work in the dental industry, I guess that works out well. And Jason Viox. Jason, longtime sports reporter for the St. John Herald. Golly, I don't know if he's still doing it anymore, but I know he's still involved in the media somewhat. Happy birthday, Jason. Hope it's an awesome day for you. What about Wednesday, February 26th?
Heather Jordan celebrates
Yes.
a birthday. She is awesome. She is still a teacher at St. Joe?
No, she retired a couple years ago.
Okay, well, she's too young to retire for one
Well,
thing.
yeah. She re-careered, I guess is probably
Okay.
more accurate.
Happy birthday to you from your husband, Chris, and all of your family. She is awesome. She does a lot of work for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. We hope you have a great day, Heather. Carrie Dunn celebrates a birthday. Carrie's one of the many great, awesome, wonderful, stupendous, fantastic employees at Parkland Pharmacy.
Yeah.
She works at the Farmington store. She is a listener of the podcast. Happy birthday to you, Carrie. Did we mention you are wonderful and fantastic? That's from your daughter and all your friends and family at the pharmacy. John Clauser, happy birthday to you from your family. John, I hope you're doing great. Slugger Garibaldi celebrates a birthday.
Slugger.
Never met a stranger.
Oh, no doubt.
Never met a stranger. Slugger, I hope you're doing good, selling lots of cars at Sisms, and I hope your health is where it needs to be,
Yes.
buddy. Jim Weber, a guy I went to high school with. Happy birthday to you, Jim, from your fellow Eureka High School grads. And a guy I was in the Navy with, lives in Tampa, Florida. Every time it snows here, he'll send me a note saying, hey, it's 80 degrees here in Tampa. Rob Kohut, happy birthday to you, Brother Rob. Hope you're doing great.
You had my two birthdays for Wednesday, so let's move up now to Thursday, February 27th.
Well, I'm going to steal a birthday of yours on Thursday as well because she is awesome and also one of the many wonderful, wonderful, wonderful employees of Parkland Pharmacy, Debbie Hamby, celebrating a birthday. Debbie, we need to get you all back on the podcast here as we talk about transitioning out of cold and flu season into hay fever season.
Ooh, yeah, that's
And
coming.
sinuses. But anyway, happy birthday to you from your husband who does a great caricature.
Yeah.
He's got one of me that he did. I really love it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Ashley Barker, who works at the Farmington Civic Center. I've known her since she was just out of high school. Now she's getting ready to graduate nursing school and getting a job in St. Louis. Let's see, Joyce Russell. Happy birthday to you, young lady. She is a lean, mean massaging machine. She gave me a massage once. It was wonderful. So happy birthday to you, Joyce. Hope you are doing great. Happy birthday to Victor Vogelsang. He goes to St. Paul Lutheran Church. I hope you are doing fantastic, Victor. That's from your wife and your son and your daughter. Now, On Facebook, it just says Nikki and Jason sample.
Yeah, I looked at that too, and I didn't know which way to go.
So whether it's Nikki's or whether it's Jason's, happy birthday to you, or if it's an anniversary, happy anniversary to you. It's not difficult to confuse podcasters, so please let us know whose birthday it really is.
I think it's Nikki's. I'm going to say happy birthday, Nikki Samples.
Okay, that sounds
So
good.
we'll see. But if it's Jason's, I'm sorry, Jay.
Jason, you're old. Nikki, you're not.
Yeah. Either way, the boys are very happy for whoever's birthday it is. Kevin Pierce, longtime insurance agent in Bonne Terre, has since retired, moved to Springfield, but he comes back to the area every year to remain a fixture in the Baby Boomer concert.
Nice.
So happy birthday to Kevin. Hope it's a great day for you, buddy. I still remember he dropped me off at school one day for some reason. I don't know, the parents had something going on, I guess, and they were bowling buddies. And he bought, like I had candy bars for sale, and he bought two of the candy bars, and he put one in my lunchbox.
What a guy.
I know. I'll never forget that, Kevin. And then our podcast sister, Tippy Wright, from the Tippy Joe Show, which is also here on the Barn Broadcast Network. Tippy celebrating a birthday today. I think she's like 21 now, so congratulations to you. Friday, February 28th, last day of the month. Who you got for birthdays?
A real sweetheart of a gal and an employee of another one of our wonderful sponsors, Dana Corcoran, celebrates a birthday on Friday. She works at Hearing Care Partners.
All right.
And when you walk through the front door, she'll be probably the first face you see behind the front desk. Dana, happy birthday to you from all of your family. We hope you are doing great. The current mayor of Farmington, Larry Forsythe,
All right.
celebrating a birthday, soon to be the former mayor of Farmington in about a month and a half.
I think he's okay with that.
I think he is too, yes. Larry, happy birthday to you. I hope you do have a great next chapter in your career. And another one of those, I'm not really sure whose birthday it is because it's Brad and Courtney Dietrich. And Brad and I are on stage together at the St. Paul Lutheran School auction.
Right.
Brad is the auctioneer. I'm the comic relief. Courtney is right behind us, keeping all the bids straight. They are awesome people. And Brad and Courtney, whoever's birthday it is or anniversary it is, we hope it's fantastic. That's from all your St. Paul family.
Happy birthday on Friday to Derek Cook. Derek's an awesome dude and a good dad. Happy birthday to you, buddy. Stacy McMullen celebrating a birthday on Friday. Lacey Freeman, I always called her Lacey Allen, the wife of Greg Allen. Greg Tadich. I guess Lacey Tadich is her real name. She goes by all kinds of names. But a longtime teacher of the West County School District and coach, and now her and Greg live in the city as he is working for St. Louis School of Pharmacy. So happy birthday, Lacey. Hope it's an awesome day for you. Leslie Grout, teacher at Farmington High School. Miss Grout, happy birthday to you. And then I got another one of those. Could be Mike King, could be Angie King, as Mike and Angie King share a Facebook account on Friday, February 28th.
Usually it's the gal's account, and the guy just kind of goes.
Yeah, that's what my dad does with my
That's
mom's.
what my brother does. My brother Tom.
So happy birthday, Angie or Mike. Either way, hope it's a great day for you. All right, we're into March now. How about Saturday, March 1st?
Melinda Brown celebrates a birthday on Saturday. She's married to John Brown, one of the 742 Edward Jones agents in
One of the
Farmington.
coolest, though.
Yeah, he's a good dude, and she is an awesome gal. I see her every now and then. She volunteers at the food pantry, and she'll help out in a lot of other great causes. Melinda, you're wonderful. Happy birthday to you from John, your daughters, and your grandbaby. Happy birthday wishes to Nancy Faulkner. Speaking of the food pantry, Nancy runs the Farmington Ministerial Alliance food pantry and thrift store, does a fantastic job. Nancy, happy birthday wishes to you. And Robin Ludholtz celebrates a birthday. I don't know if you know Robin, but you know her husband, Johnny Washburn.
Oh, yeah.
Ludholtz, who was actually on stage with the late, great Toby Keith.
Yeah,
So,
he toured Japan with them.
yeah, and he was backstage, and Toby invited him on stage, and I've seen the video of him playing the washboards.
Yeah.
So anyway, Robin, happy birthday wishes to you, young lady.
A funny story real quick about Johnny Washboard when he was in Japan. They were out somewhere like walking the streets late at night, and they came across like this group of all dressed similar Japanese gentlemen, and they were very interested in Johnny's washboard because apparently he had it there. And so Toby Keith instructed Johnny to start washboarding for the folks.
I think I've heard
And
that,
yeah,
yeah.
they were very into it, very cool. And they kind of high-fived and like, hey, see you later, we're going back to our hotel. They went back to their hotel. They told somebody, like the following day what happened. They're like, oh my God, that was a gang fight that was getting ready to happen, and you were like on the wrong team. So luckily they got out of there at the right time and didn't get involved in a Japanese gang fight. One birthday for Saturday, Dion Christopher. Happy birthday. Dion's from Deloge. Hope you have a great day. And we wrap up the week with Sunday, March the 2nd.
Sunday, our good buddy Mark Krause celebrates a birthday. He and his brother John and their dad, we cannot leave their dad out of this because he did a lot of youth wrestling back in the late 80s, early 90s, and that really was the springboard for all the success of Farmington High School. By the way, congratulations to the Farmington Knights wrestling teams from, 1995 to 2003 have been named to the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame, which is a really cool thing. But Mark, you were one of the main reasons for that. You and your brother John, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Ginger Taylor. She is a lean, mean CPA machine. Ginger,
she's busy.
Yeah, it's a busy time of year for her. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Scott Rigdon from all of your family. Scott, I hope you're doing fantastic. A girl I have never met, but I have visited with online quite a bit. She lives in Colorado. Sydney Menken celebrates a birthday. When I went out to Colorado about 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, for a wedding, Sydney, we were friends on Facebook somehow, and we were going to meet up. She's like a triathlon person.
Oh, wow.
She had gotten into one of the triathlons and she wiped out on her bicycle and she was covered from head to toe in road rash, so she couldn't make it.
Ow.
So we keep talking, and once in a blue moon, we'll still say hi to each other. So Sydney, happy birthday to you. I hope you're doing fantastic. And a guy I went to high school with, great athlete back in the day, Rick McReynolds, celebrating a birthday on Sunday. Rick, happy birthday to you, buddy.
I got Shara Weiss. Shara, longtime educator in the Central School District. I believe she was the librarian, I want to say at the high school, or maybe at the middle school. Anyways, Shara, happy birthday to you. Hope it's an awesome day. My cousin, Michelle Bobbitt, cousin-in-law, I guess. She's a cousin of the wife, but I count her as a cousin. Fine pharmacist celebrating a birthday on Sunday. And I guess if we ever wanted to tell totally awesome radio stories, we could probably tell quite a few about this next dude. Matt Benz,
gosh,
MJ Benz, celebrating a birthday.
A little bit of a crazy man.
On Sunday. Boy, he has the voice, man.
Yes, he does.
One of the best
Got
set
the
of pipes ever.
Him and Kabbalah.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we should do for our music segment when we should rank DJ pipes and see who has the best pipes out there. Because him, Kabbalah, golly, now I'm trying to think of local legends that were known for their pipes. So, Mark Tody's pretty good. He had good pipes.
That guy stinks. That Lowry guy.
Yeah.
He drank a lot.
Yeah. Camp, probably same deal there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gib Collins, it was just, you knew those pipes so well.
Yeah.
And with, Frank Herard the same way. Golly, I don't know. I guess MJ wins. MJ wins. Happy birthday, buddy.
Two good sets of pipes there.
There you go. Those are your birthdays here on the Parkland Podcast. Heimberger Construction, HeimbergerConstruction.com. They have been building beautiful buildings in our area since 1978, Mark Tody, and they have those Butler buildings.
The Butler buildings are the best metal building system on the market, and the only buildings that have a pre-punched roof system and standard 360-degree roof seam for their standing seam roof. Jennifer Heimberger, who runs Heimberger Construction, does a fabulous job, and she really cares about the area. She gets involved in a whole lot of things in the community. I know she's supporting a Little League baseball team. That's one of her current things, which is just really awesome. So Jennifer, she's been to a couple of Kansas City Chiefs football games, which makes me really jealous.
Yeah, and I feel really bad for her. I hope she's gotten over the loss.
She's still a little bitter, but aren't we all?
Exactly. Anyways, HeimbergerConstruction.com. Check out the beautiful work they've done, not only around the Parkland, but around the region. HeimbergerConstruction.com, 431-4387. Save a lot of the Parkland there in Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, Farmington. They have those butchers in every store. They have the produce, they have the meat, they have everything covered at your local Save-A-Lot store.
Their Facebook page says it all to me, offering quality without compromise. That's what you'll find at Save-A-Lot. I go to the Farmington store quite a bit. They've got a great selection, not just of meat, which is cut fresh daily, but they also have great produce and all kinds of canned goods, everything you want from your local grocery store. And it's like your own little personal grocery store and Save-A-Lot.
It sure is. And make sure you sign up for the customer rewards, find out about great things happening, and save money on groceries. We all need to. And you can do that at your local Save-A-Lot stores. Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington. In sports, we begin with wrestling. Boys wrestling, Class 3, District 1. The Hillsboro Hawks and Farmington Knights move on to state, finishing first and second in the Class 3 District 1 tournament held Saturday. North County would finish 10th in that tournament. Class 2 District 1, St. Genevieve wins there. Sullivan comes in second. Potosi would finish 5th. And Central 9th. And in Class 1, District 1, Valley Catholic just misses the team cut, finishing 3rd. Now, several individuals have qualified locally to advance to state for boys in Classes 1 and 2 and girls in Class 1. That's going to happen February 26th and 27th in Columbia. And then February 28th and March 1st will be the boys Class 3 and 4 and the girls Class 2. And that's all happening at Mizzou Arena. Basketball scores. Basically, everybody played 3 nights this past week. Monday night's girls game saw Fredericktown beat Perryville, St. Paul a winner over Kingston, Bismarck topped Grandview, and Arcadia Valley beat Clearwater. Boys games from Monday, Stillville defeated Kingston in overtime, Valley Catholic a win over North County, Fredericktown defeated St. Paul, Marquand a winner over Fredericktown beat St. Vincent, with Marquand beating St. Paul, and South Iron a win over Valley of Caledonia. Then on Friday, girls game, St. Paul beat West County, St. Jenna went over Herculaneum, Fredericktown down Crystal City, Potosi got past DeSoto, Lesterville a win over Kingston. Boys games from Friday night, Jefferson gets past North County in overtime, Potosi a win over Puxico, and Ellington defeats Valley Catholic. Then on Saturday, some girls basketball games, Arcadia Valley beats Central, West County a winner over North County, and boys games saw St. Jen beat West County, Central defeats Arcadia Valley, Valley of Caledonia down in Ellington, and Lesterville a win over St. Paul. Turning to the college hardwood, MAC men and women wrapping up their Region 16 schedules. They played against Moberly on Wednesday night, with the ladies picking up the win 53-47. The men would fall 70-53. Then on Saturday night, the teams traveled to State Fair. The ladies fall to the Roadrunners 66-61. The men defeat the Roadrunners 62-53. MAC men and women will play Moberly Saturday night for the regular season finale. Then play begins in the Region 16 tournament the following week. The Potosi football team has filled their head coaching position. Potosi graduate and Central assistant coach Mark Casey going back to the purple and gold. Casey was an assistant coach under Matt Haug and was the head coach of the Trojans from 2008 to 2016. And his former staff mate, head coach of the Central Rebels, Corey Schweiss, going into the Missouri Football Coaches Hall of Fame. Schweiss has been the head coach of the Rebels the last 21 seasons, winning the state title 2 years ago. The 2025 class will be inducted in December. And that's your sports here on the Parkland Podcast. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.com is more than you ever imagined. You find out about entertainment, dining, outdoor activities, wineries, and more. People say, there's nothing going on around here. They're not looking in the right place.
Yeah, definitely go to discoverfarmingtonmo.com. Just keep up to date with everything that's going on. And trust me, once the weather warms up a little bit, there's going to be more things than you can shake a stick at to do. So definitely, not just a Farmington thing, even though it says Discover Farmington, it'll keep you up to date with stuff going on around on the entire area, whether it's a winery trip or maybe to one of the state parks. Discover Farmington has all the info you need.
And any of the shows and things that are coming up to Farmington, as far as events happening at the Centene Center, things like that, we will make sure that you find out about it courtesy of our friends at Discover Farmington.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
Joining the Third Timers Club now here on the Parkland Podcast.
Like Saturday Night Live. Do I get a jacket or any of this movie jacket?
And you're in the green room, yeah. Although we'll probably show
The weather. Oh my God! Yeah, look, see the front coming in from the west.
St. Francis County Clerk Kevin Engler joining us here on the Parkland Podcast. We have some information about early voting, which is getting underway, absentee voting, and a look at the ballot as well. Where would you like to start, sir?
Well, I might as well tell them to get started. Let's talk about the purpose of the April election.
Okay, what happens with the April?
Well, the April election is always the local issues. And as they say, all things are local, but people don't treat it that way. I mean, November, we had a great turnout. We had about 70% of the registered voters, which is only there's only about 70% of the total populations that are registered voters. So we probably had a little over 50% of the people, but that's a huge turnout. But Trump was going to win the state anyway. You know, and although I was happy to see the people come out and vote, one vote doesn't matter. These local elections, when you're talking about a city council election and less than 100 people vote on that city council person, one vote makes the difference, or surely can make the difference. And so I want to talk about the importance of, you've got city council elections, you've got 911 board elections, you have school board elections, you have school bond issues where you're going to put for those other people that aren't voting, you're putting them in debt for $48 million. You have dollars, and yet less than 10% of the people will vote. So what I'd like to see is get 15% of the people out. It's unrealistic to get 60 or 70%, but if we get 15% of the people that actually want to decide on their local officials, their mayors, we've got several mayor races, and we'll talk about those in a second, what's all up for vote.
What do people need to know about making sure they're eligible to vote?
Well, all they can have to do is call our election central, which are pop by. It's on Weber Road. We had 40% of the people vote there in November.
I did.
They voted. It's easy. You can get in and out. For the next few weeks, our computer pops up and it says, why is this person voting early? And you have to give us a reason. The number one reason is I might not be available on the election day. We're not going to inquire, are you sure? That's not our job. It's just that's the way the law reads. We're trying to change that so you have the whole time without excuse, because why do you need an excuse to vote? I want to vote. And so come in. And so for the next 4 weeks starting, and we're filming this on Saturday, but this Tuesday on the 25th is the first day that you can vote. For the next 4 weeks, you can vote anytime at our office on Weber Road there. And if you were checking your registration status, all you have to do is call us or pop in there and they just say, hey, here's my name and here's where I live. Am I registered correctly?
And there are a lot of reasons to get out and vote. We have some very interesting races on the ballot.
We sure do. Can I go over?
Yeah.
For example, in Bonne Terre, I'm not going to go over the names, but I'm going to go over who's got races. Bonne Terre, you've got a city council, Ward 1 race. In Deloge, you've got a heated mayor race with 2 people running for that. You have a city alderman 1 race, a city 2 race. You have 3 people running for 1.
You have City Ward 2 a race, Ward 3 race. In Farmington, you have the mayor race, which is going to be a pretty contested race there. I'll say their names between Mitt Landrum and Chris Morrison. So that one's happening. You only have one ward race, and that is for Ward 2 for the 1-year expired term. So you've got that, and you have Ward, let's see, Iron Mountain Lake. There is really no contested races. Ludington, you don't have any contested races. Park Hills, mayor, you have 3 people running. Stacy Easter, David Easter, and Daniel Nocky. And that's going to be a big race. Ward 1 has a race. Ward 3 has a race. Ward 4 has a race. Jefferson County Community College District has a race. That's just the very farther north that just bleeds into St. Francis a little bit. That's going to be on the ballot. Everyone in St. Francis County will have to vote on the health board because they have one write-in candidate. So that's on the ballot. DeSoto, we have one little section up there that's in DeSoto. They have a school board race. Farmington has, besides the city, they have a big bond issue race. We need more people to decide if they want to do that bond issue or not. It's great if you want to, great if you don't. I'm letting people know it's on there because we will get the calls, meaning the county will get the calls. When the tax is imposed this summer, there's going to be a reassessment too and a higher assessment, and then we will get the calls for the Board of Equalization when people come in to complain about their taxes. But when we come in, 90% of the time we have to say, you all voted on this. Well, I didn't vote on anything. Well, you're right, but the other people voted and your taxes are going up and we can't do anything for you, the Board of Equalization. Our only job, whereas the counties, I do all the minutes and then send out the letters, is evaluate, is the assessed value of your property too high? That's the only thing they can choose in those meetings. They can't say, well, no, we're not going to make you pay those taxes or whatever on the city or whatever, the county or school district. Okay, so you need to have your
Voice heard.
voice heard.
Right. And there's 2 different issues, right?
Oh, on the bond issue, yeah, there's one that continues the 90 cent that started about 5 years ago. They built the indoor football facility, a lot of roof repairs, things like that 5 years ago, and that was 90 cent. Well, that's, I assume, being paid off, the bond issue, and now there's a $48 million to build the Performing Arts Center and a lot of other, this list is over 8 inches long of the different projects they had. So there's 2 separate issues, and then one is a 40 cent to raise the operating level for raises and other things for the operations of the district, bus drivers or anything like that. So not the physical plant, but the personnel. North County School District, once again, they have several school board people that are on the ballot. That's going to be an interesting race. Sunrise, if you're way up there, they're having a race. West County Board, they have both a race and they have a bond issue. And you guys haven't, theirs is, the Sunrise has a bond issue. Okay. Right. Sunrise has an issue there. Big River has the fire district. If you're in Big River Fire District, you're trying to decide, like Wolf Creek did a couple years ago, should it be a district that they can put a tax on, or do you still supposed to buy fire tags? Fire tags back in the years ago was a very efficient way to do it. You sell it, and you see the guys, you knew Bob, and you buy your fire tag. Now, half the people don't buy the tags, then you go out and respond to a fire, and they want you to put out the fire. Well, the only way that works, it's like insurance. You can't buy insurance after you have an accident. It's difficult to manage that, so they're wanting a tax that's I think it's 30 cents. That's less than the operation that like the school district's asking for.
And then also, too, they have to have a board. You have to have a board. They
Operational board. And they're only one of 2 fire districts doing that. You also have Terre de Lac just trying to turn it. So that's the other one that you have. Terre de Lac, you have to decide whether you and vote on their board members. Now, they only have enough board members to equal the amount of people that are running. So you're assuming that if it passes, those are going to be your big members.
Says you want to do a big writing campaign. That's right.
So, Kevin, you and I and Jason, we've all done enough elections over the years. We know that in April, this is when literally there can be a tie or a race that is decided by 1 vote, 2 votes.
I will be surprised if we don't have a tie or at least one within 1 or 2 votes, because that's what I said. It's not Trump was going to win this county by 10,000 votes or whatever. All these could be decided by just 1 or 2 votes.
What is the process if I lose to Jason by less than 1%? I have the ability to challenge that, right?
You do. And if you try, we have a process. We try to guilt you into flipping a coin. Because you see, and chamber, because if you have to have a special election now, that entity that you're running to represent, the school board or the ambulance district or the whatever, is going to be penalized by having to pay for a separate election on the thing, because you have an opportunity to just say, okay, whoever wins takes it, or we have to charge for our poll workers, and we have to have so many. We have to have the thing processed. We try to do it as cheap as possible, but you can't really get by for it not being a couple $1,000, $3,000, and for a small school district out there, if you're going to make them pay several $1,000s just so that you can decide on an election, most of the time we say, don't you think it would be better that the loser runs next time and you flip and the winner takes this year's, and most people didn't do that.
Now, there was an example a few years back, Gay Wilkinson and Linda Black.
That was for commission half the county that tied. So you talk about these are like these school board elections in, let's say, Bismarck. I'm going to use that because I don't think they have. They may have 150 people total voting. So there's a much statistical chance, a better chance of them tying than the half the county. And yet we had a tie with the commissioner's race where half the county vote, and we had to have a special election for half the county to re-vote that. That was the only thing on the ballot there.
Kevin, we can't do an interview with you without you bragging about your staff. They have treated us so well for such a long time. They're really good at what they do.
We have a great staff. I think that we've been fortunate to bring a lot of transparency to the office. We've cut costs. We've been able to operate only because we have experienced people. I mean, my average worker's been over there over 20 years, and you have some that have been there over 30. Teresa's been doing the payroll for 30 years. Well, we had payroll this week. I didn't say, Teresa, I want to show you how to do payroll. Let me show you how to do payroll. I just walked by her and said, are we getting paid today? Yeah. Okay. That's and it makes it a lot easier. So, and then at the elections office with Jackie and Valencia, you got a question, you call them, they'll be able to answer the very few questions. Jackie's been doing this for like 16 years. There's very few questions that she can't answer, and do a great job. And then Emily comes in and works part-time, works the elections, and she does a very, very great job. We have good people. People have accused me of, I'm sure Engler's got the conservative people. You look at, all you got to do is follow Facebook, and my 3 gals in there are about as liberal as in their class. I don't know how it happened, but my job is to keep them honest. That's trying not to, because it's, I saw one post this morning on something. I went, oh my gosh, I can't, off the charts left, but that's okay. They got a right to their opinion as long as they operate as professional. And then in our office, Rhonda and Linda and Corey, they come over for the day of the election, and they work a 15-hour day, and they do a great job. We have not had any problems. I don't anticipate any problems in April.
How are you as far as poll workers go? Need more?
Right now, we always like to have a list of people that would like to. Now, in April, since we only have about 6-7% of the people vote, we don't have to have near as many poll workers. It's a shame, but we still have to have the same districts. All the wards have to be open. All the same way. We have to have 3 in Deloge and everything, but the voting is 1/10 of what it was in November. So therefore, we don't need as many people on the checking them in. There we have 6 people checking them in. This time we'll only have to have 2. And I tell them on the April elections, bring a book, because it may be a while between your next voter.
Are there any changes in polling places?
There's not right now. Terrelac, we're going to have to do something. I'm going up next week the building, this rec center that they have up there that we've used forever. They've got that for sale, and they closed up. And like last time, I had to pay a couple people going and clean it for a day before we could use it. We'll probably eventually go to the fire station there, just because we thought somebody might buy it, and then we work a deal with them so that they could. But I don't think it's happened as of yet. All the rest of them will be the same.
Now, last year was such a busy year for elections. Will it be a little calmer this year, or is it going to be busy as well?
It's much calmer, and that's why we went from when I took over. We had 4 full-time election staff. There's stuff that happens every day that we get notices of people that have died. They take them off book, change of address. There's stuff that needs to be done, and then you have to process and do the budgeting. It takes about a month and a half after the election to close everything out. Sometimes 2 to 3 months if we get. All these entities have to pay for their share, so we're waiting for checks before we can close it out. In this year, when we're only expecting 1 election, at the most 2, it will be a lot slower. That's why we went to 2 full-time people and then 1 part-time that when we have elections, she works full-time during that 6-week period of elections, and we bill her costs out to the entities rather than the taxpayers of the county. And that works really well. And that way we get by for about half the cost or the elections, but it's a lot slower in these years.
Kevin, is there anything coming up with the new presidency and with the legislature in Missouri that might change what you do?
There's a couple things out there. One of the things is we're talking about whether we're going to have a presidential preference election. We did get away with it last time, thank God. It's very difficult because we have 3 elections, and they have one in March before the April, and you've overlapped, so you're sending out your absentee, which is something else I probably should say. If you can make it to our office, if you can have one of your children drive you, and we'd much rather have you vote in person. We will do curbside voting. We'd much rather have you vote in person than me send letters. Besides, it costs about $6 with all the envelopes and the postage and things for you to do, and then only about half of them get turned back. It's so much better, and I don't know who I'm sending them to. Once they've signed that they want that ballot sent to them years ago, and we want it sent because of health reasons every time. I don't know if they've got dementia so bad that they shouldn't be voting. Now we've started voting the nursing homes for that reason, because you don't know if somebody's sending 20 applications out and half of them don't know their name. They're voting. Somebody gets a lot of votes that shouldn't. So we go to the nursing homes to do that. But I'm telling you, if you could, so many people will send an absentee ballot and go through the process, which is a paperwork nightmare to each one to go through to get them out, not singularly, but collectively. Sure. Then they'll bring them in and turn them in. Well, if you can come in to turn them in, you could take 5 minutes to vote. Or if your son or daughter, if you're elderly and homebound, if they can take you to our drive-through, we've got it. It's covered. We'll come out and vote you. You don't have to get out of your seat. All you have to do is bring your ID. But those, to me, you look at fraud in elections, there's a lot more potential in the absentee ballots than in person. And that in-person voting at my office early, 40% of the people last time did that because they like it so much because it's quick. They get in. And from our end of it, we know who they are. People say there's Tony, but yet those guys know you. They still say, well, you need to see your ID.
Yeah.
You know, I can't do that when I mail it out.
The last question I had is for people that are interested in the election process, stop by Election Central election night. It's really kind of interesting.
Yeah, we'd be happy to have every bit of it is available for the public to watch. When they say, oh, they're doing this, you cannot. I can't figure out how you could possibly mess with the results. Everything is done with Democrats and Republicans at the same time, helping count the absentees that are brought in. That they're held accountable. Every precinct we do that, we test every machine the week before to make sure it's counting, and they give us a deck of ballots to put with every combination. This deck will be this thick. It will take us 3 hours or longer to test every machine to make sure they've counted every. And a Democrat and Republican sits there at the end and say, "This is what it says the count is," and then they tell them, "Yes, that's correct." After the election, we test every machine so that it shows that it's counting. There's a big misconception that somebody could get into those machines electronically. They are counting machines, just like a calculator or they are not connected to the internet. We plug them into the wall. They're not connected to the internet. They have no internet function. All they do is read the ballot. Something else. Look at the thing where it says fill in the spot. Don't put a check. Don't put a dot, because the machine reads the content of that box. They don't read your X alongside of it. There's nobody manually looking at it and says, yeah, I think I know that X, he was really wanting it to be in the box. If you don't fill up so much of that box, your vote's not counted. Why come in? Or why take the time if you're not going to?
And if it comes down to one vote, there's your difference. Yeah.
You didn't put it in the box. So those hanging chads, I tell you, this don't have to deal with those anymore, right, sir? So again, registering to vote for this election has to be done by March the 12th. Absentee voting gets underway Tuesday, February 25th. Early, no excuse voting. You don't have to tell them the reason, although they don't care. Just as long as you give a reason. March 25th, and then of course the election is on April the 8th.
Yeah, it's really changed. That early voting to me is key, because it used to be you have to wait especially November. You had to wait at the lines. Even this time, you look at the TV at noon, and there'd be lines 2 blocks down. We never had more than a 5-minute wait, because 40% of the people had already voted, which takes a lot of the people out of the precincts.
And we'll be there Tuesday, April 8th, doing.
Are we going to do a show?
Yeah.
I thought that worked out well, and you'll be there. We got a lot of people interested, because let's face it, a lot of people wanted to know Trump was winning, or somebody's winning congressional race or whatever, but they can pull up the TV, follow that.
Can't do it with the April elections, yeah.
Do that with the school board, and they have personal interest that they're running, and they put themselves out there. I congratulate all the people that are stupid enough to do these positions. I'm sorry, I've done it. You've been there, done it. Been there, done it. But you're just putting yourself out there first to see if people are going to hate you, and not vote for you. Then when you do it, all they're going to do is yell at you, and complain. I used to say mayor was the best job I ever had, $100 a month, and all the crap I could stand. And that's the way it was. You put yourself out there. So thank the people that are putting themselves out there. So if they're going to take the time to put themselves out there, why can't you take the time to go in and vote? Whether you like them or dislike them, vote against them, but take the time to vote.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
So no election in August, nothing in November this year.
Not scheduled.
Oh, okay.
You can have a special election on any of those, but if you do, the entity that does it has to pay for the whole cost of the election. So if a city says, okay, we want to vote on the internet tax for this, there's a way to put them on some of those ballots, but then they have to pay for the whole thing, which is a killer when you have to pay for. Because I have to charge them for everything of all the costs. Because my auditor Louis and his staff.
Why does everybody roll their eyes when they say it?
They cool. He's not him, but Amber is just nails. I mean, that's what you want as an auditor. But this last election, we were 2 cents off. 2 cents off, and we had to go back until we found the 2 cents.
Ugh.
I agree that's what. But my point is, she's just not going to let you say. You hold a special election. Well, we won't charge you for that or vote. No, we got to know how much paper you use. I mean, we have to list how many envelopes we've used, how much. It went down to paperclip. It's just crazy. This is how many of this, so that we can bill that to that election, and that all has to be billed to the person that has a special election too. So.
Search St. Francis County Clerk on Google. You can go right to the page. I'll be up there soon.
Soon. And the reason it's not, they hadn't told this past Tuesday to all the to verify it. We sent out here's the spelling of all the people that you say. Here's the one, everything. Is it right? And they sign off and said, and they had until Tuesday to do that. And then if you remember what happened Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right. So we got electronically to our printer. But our printer was shut down for 2 days because of the weather. They supposedly were working on our ballots yesterday. They're going to overnight them. Hopefully we will get them by Monday afternoon. Then we can take a picture of it and put it on our website, and then we'll have them for Tuesday morning. If God forbid it doesn't show up by Tuesday morning, I have an out on that too. I take a picture of the ballot because I've got the ballot now. I've got the ballot that I sent them. We take a picture of it. We vote it manually. Without being the ballot with the barcode, then the thing counts. We put it in an envelope. We seal it. It's kept until the election day, until the absentees come in and they take it out of the envelope. It says who it was, when it was. It doesn't tell you how they voted, but on the outside of the envelope, then They take that, transmit that sample, it's just a regular piece of paper, to an official ballot with Democrats and Republicans sitting there, and then that's fed to the machine. So if for some reason they can't get us ballots Tuesday morning and somebody's in there, I've got a method that I can get it done. It's just hopefully, though, we'll have them all in. But there's nothing to do with some. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Kevin Engler, St. Francis County Clerk, walking off the set right now.
It's kind of like a big mic drop.
Don't drop bikes. They're expensive. It's Kevin Engler here on the Parkland Podcast.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
Here is your musical segment here on the Parkland Podcast. Two DJs talking about music and songs and albums we like, and then we got a little bit of a five fave going on with some one-hit wonders we're going to cover in a bit. But give me a song of the day. What do you got?
Simon and Garfunkel, Mrs. Robinson. Second #1 hit for the group, came out in the mid to late 60s. If you remember the movie that it was a big part of, The Graduate. Great tune. Paul Simon, I don't know. I'm not sure what Garfunkel did in the group other than sing, because I think Paul Simon wrote all the music and he would sing, but that's such a good tune, and it's one of their best. If you're young and you really think, Simon and Garfunkel, is that a law firm? No. Google
I'd let
it,
them
kids.
represent me, though.
Yeah, Google it, kids. Listen to some of their music. You would really, really like it. And my album, I'm pretty sure that I've done several Eagles albums, but I don't think we've done On the Border.
No, you haven't.
Not yet. And this might as well be a greatest hits album. It contains the hit song Already Gone. Also, On the Border was a great song, The Best of My Love, James Dean, Old 55, Good Day in Hell, You Never Cried Like a Lover, Midnight Flyer. Every song on this album is fantastic. The Eagles, Glenn Frey, Don Henley, Bernie Leadon, Randy Meisner. Oh my gosh, Don Felder, a who's who of rock and roll music right there. Check it out. It's great.
Don Felder, probably the most underrated Eagle, I think, too.
He did, because Glenn Frey and...
Yeah, those guys get all the headlines.
Yes.
But yeah, what a great group. For songs, I'm not a big Bob Dylan guy, but I heard this morning on the way to record the podcast, and I really dug it. It's one of those deep cuts they play on our favorite radio station, 93.3 KBDZ. Good job, Randy Raley. And this song is called Stuck Inside of Mobile with the Memphis Blues. Again, I'm assuming, did the band back him up on this one?
They backed him up on a lot of things. There were a lot of different versions of this song, and I don't know if it's this one or another song, and I can't remember which it would be if it wasn't this one. He actually got criticized a little bit because he played an electric guitar in that. And this is Bob Dylan, the folk singer.
Yeah.
And I may be wrong about this. Brother Tom, if you're listening and I am wrong,
he'll correct us.
Yeah, correct us.
And then for album, so been off school all week, so I was able to clean off the big stand-up stereo and get into mine and my grandma's old albums.
Way to go, Granny.
I know, Grandma, we're going to dive deep into her musical taste here. Ricky Skaggs, and this is a great album, Highways and Heartaches. Of course, Heartbroke was, I think, the lead tune from this one. And, of course, Highway 40 Blues, big hit for not very good-looking Ricky Skaggs, I didn't realize. He came out right before MTV and CMT, so he didn't have to be pretty. But dude could definitely sing and definitely could write a lick or two.
He could play the guitar.
Yeah.
He's married to Sharon White from the Whites.
I didn't know that.
I interviewed Ricky Skaggs once, and I asked him, I said, when you guys get around the dinner table, is there a lot of talk about music? He goes, man, we're around music all day. We'll talk about anything but music when we're sitting down to eat dinner and stuff. But a real nice guy. I was playing in Steelville somewhere. And
cool.
I did an interview with him. He is very, very talented. check out Country Boy and watch the video for Country Boy and just watch his fingers work the guitar. If you
Yeah.
don't think he can play the guitar, that'll change your mind.
That was one of my favorite songs to play at J98. I
Yes.
snuck that dude in all the time. It was
There's
such
a
a cool
whole
tune.
bunch of guest appearances on that
Yeah.
on that song as well.
I think Flat and Scruggs are on it, and some
Yeah.
other folks like that. Yeah, very, very cool team. All right, so we've been doing these 5 faves things, and I think you were like, let's do one-hit wonders this week, which is fantastic. So I came up with a couple of lists. I did, well, it's like I did like 3 lists. I did five one-hit wonders that I really, really dig, and then I did a couple that were kind of, almost novelty tunes, and then I was going to do some songs by famous actors, and then I kind of, I guess, lost track of what I was doing, so I didn't fill out all the lists. But first off, give me some one-hit wonders. What do you got?
Well, how about the Doucette Band and Mama Let 'Em Play some rock and roll.
I thought that was Van Halen for like the longest time.
Well, it kind of sounds like David Lee
Yeah.
Roth. But that's one. I also put on, just because every time I hear this song, I go crazy, House of Pain, Jump Around.
Yeah.
Great tune. Another one that just makes me get all juiced up is the Ides of March. I'm your vehicle, baby. One-hit wonder there is about a guy who really was crushing on some girl, and all he was your vehicle, because he wrote a song about taking her everywhere she wants to go.
I remember, can I tell you a quick radio story about
Yeah.
that song? The J98 story. Remember Bill Fernandez?
Oh, yeah.
So anyways, there was, I think Budweiser had an ad, and it was that song, and they kind of reworked the words a little bit and made it about designated drivers. I'm your vehicle, baby.
I remember.
I'm your designated driver. And that song like started playing, and I think Dick was walking down the stairs at the old J98 down in the basement, and he heard that song come on, and he thought Fernandez was playing that song on J98, and he freaked out until he realized it was a commercial. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You had a great list going there.
Well, I'm looking up one more that I just thought of. Shocking Blue, I
Shocking
think,
Blue.
was the group, and they did a song called Venus.
Yes.
I'm your Venus. I'm your pride and joy. I believe that was a one-hit wonder. But back to my original list, Norman Greenbaum,
Right.
Spirit in the Sky.
Yeah.
Another great song. And I don't know how this song became a one-hit wonder, but it really was. The lead singer went on to much bigger and better things. Free and All Right Now. How about Relax from Frankie Goes to Hollywood?
Yeah.
Man, I hadn't
Song's
thought about that
intense.
song in a long time. And I think that's my list.
That's
right
your
there.
list,
I
eh?
had the knack, my Sharona, but
Yeah.
didn't like that song when it first came out, but
Really?
I love it, yeah.
I love the guitar solo in
Yeah.
that song. That's, to me, that's one of the coolest guitar solos
It's very good.
in that late
I've
70s,
come
early
to love
80s.
that song.
Ram Jam, Black Betty.
Yeah, oh, Black Betty.
But old Muddy Waters song, I believe, and then they redid it. And the video to that song, I think we've talked about that. I think it's been my song on the podcast in the past. The video looks like it was shot in Leadwood. It's so awesome. Like these 70 dudes just hanging out on the back porch, strumming the crap out of their guitars and playing that awesome tune. How about Redbone, Come and Get Your Love?
Oh, yeah, great tune.
Yeah.
American Indians.
Yes.
Group made up entirely of
Yeah.
American Indians, and that is a great tune.
It is a great, and the kids love it too. It's a meme now. So the kids are all in, and Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, brought that song back as well. And then I would always play it. Rob Love, who started the digital media program at Unitech Career Center, where I used to teach, I took over for him. Rob would come in and he'd give like lessons and different things, and I'd always play that song as like his walk-in music to the classroom. And then a great tune from the band Focus.
I love this song.
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Yodeling. Heavy metal yodeling, kids. Check it out. Hocus Pocus. Yeah, that's it. Wow, I'm impressed. And Mungo Jerry in the summertime.
Summertime when the weather is hot.
Before there was beatboxing, there was Mungo Jerry
Yeah.
in the summertime. What a great song. A couple of kind of funny songs, kind of novelty songs I wanted to spotlight. C.W. McCoy's Convoy. That song was such a good one-hit wonder. They made a movie out of it, Mark. Isn't that impressive?
Yes, they did, yes.
Buckner and Garcia, do you remember that duo?
No.
No, that's okay. They did the song Pac-Man Fever. Girl, you give me Pac-Man Fever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Waitresses, which technically, I guess you could say aren't a one-hit wonder because they also have the Christmas rapping song that's kind of become a staple. But that was always a song, I know what boys like. I know what guys want to do. What movie was that? It was in one of the one of those 80s movies that all run together in my mind. And then I wanted to talk about a couple of actors, actresses that had one-hit wonder hits. And this one, I blew my brother's mind one time. We were playing the Seek game where like you seek songs on the radio station and you try to be the first person to say the artist. Patrick Swayze, She's Like the Wind from the Footloose, Dirty Dancing soundtrack. Yeah. And Patrick did great on that tune. Eddie Murphy had a top 10 hit with My Girl Loves to Party All the Time, Party All the Time, Party All the Time. Remember that one?
No, but
you don't remember that?
It's Eddie Murphy.
Oh man, Eddie Murphy. The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, Vicki Lawrence.
Big hit.
Did that one, and I think that was her only. Although Reba McEntire's version of that tune is better, just because Reba's.
I don't know, they were both pretty good.
But and I had a few more, but I can't. I know Bruce Willis had a song. The actor.
Kevin Costner was in a band.
Yeah, Kevin Costner was in a band.
Terry Bradshaw recorded several
That's
songs.
Right. Yeah.
Too, none of which were any good at all, but
kind of like his passing.
Yeah, no, I don't know. 4 Super Bowl rings might say different.
I don't. There's always the controversy. He was on a great team.
They're all on great teams.
That's true. So there you go. Did you have any more one-hit wonders?
No, that pretty much covers it.
Yeah. I mean, we could do this because I found like a list of like 3,000 one-hit wonders. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many amazing tunes here. And some of them I was a little like, that's not necessarily a one-hit wonder. They had a hit with this. But very, very cool. And got any ideas for the next kind of 5 faves we can talk about?
No, but I will.
Okay, yeah. You're good at coming up with these. All right, so who do we have coming up for episode 38?
Well, we have Paul and Ashley Grindstaff coming in. They were in over the summer to tell us about Blues Brews and barbecue and kind of tell us a little bit about their Living Well project that they're a big part of. They've got a big fundraiser coming up in March that I'm going to help MC, and they're going to tell us all about that and how people can support their cause, which is just a fantastic thing. So they'll be among the guests we have coming up on our next episode.
And if you watch the podcast on YouTube and you see the cup, the cup is from this project.
I bought this from their lovely daughters as one of their big fundraisers that they did, and I use it just about every day.
Yeah. We
digging deep to live well.
Yeah, so there you go. We'll find out more about that great charitable cause, and getting closer and closer to the election. We're going to have in March, I know the Deloge mayoral candidates will be joining us and working on getting everything lined out with the Park Hills mayoral candidates as well. And forgot to mention this in the open, and I should have, weekly polls returning to our Facebook page starting on Tuesday. We'll start with the mayoral race in Farmington since we've already spoken with both those gentlemen, and that way you can watch those interviews and vote. And we're very curious to see, because I think this is going to be an extremely tight race. Very curious to see how this shakes out.
It's going to be an interesting April election. Get out and vote.
Yeah. And again, thanks to our guests today, Suzanne Baker and Kevin Engler, joining us here on the Parkland Podcast. Have a great week. We hope you thaw out, and we'll see you next week.